Introducing the Plymouth Locomotive Model DMDP Planetary Drive Axle Mining Locomotive. This locomotive series is designed to meet customer needs in virtually any tunneling or mining application worldwide. Each phase of the DMDP's development, from Plymouth's computer-assisted design process and state-of-the-art manufacturing to our service support program, represents the mining locomotive industry's most advanced system. Instead of installing a planetary drive axle in an existing locomotive, as some other manufacturers have done, Plymouth engineers started from the ground up. They talked to their customers to find out what they wanted. The result is the most technologically advanced, handcrafted mining locomotive available today. Let's take a closer look at the new DMDP Planetary Drive locomotive. The first Plymouth advantage you'll see is our new high-visibility, safety-striped white paint scheme. Remove the easy-access, low-clearance top hatches, and you'll see that even the inside is totally finished in white, making inspections in the poorest light a real time saver. Since 1912, Plymouth customers have asked for and received both quality and value for their investment, and the DMDP series is no exception. The foundation for every locomotive is a tough, welded integral frame that's both flexible and strong. Prior to painting, all surfaces are sandblasted for smoothness and superior paint adhesion. Let's take a close look at the DMDP's drivetrain components from the rail up. The quality of components and how they are used illustrates the value of every Plymouth locomotive. The DMDP's 28-inch diameter tire-mounted wheel hub is bolted directly to the planetary axle for easy change-out if necessary. When the tread and flange of the tire become worn to the point that replacement is necessary, only the heat-shrink tire needs to be replaced. A real cost savings to you. At Plymouth, every locomotive we build is thoroughly tested before it leaves the factory. Here, we see the DMDP being tortured on rail too rough to imagine. You wouldn't think of welding 3-inch steel beams to a section of curved track and then running a brand new locomotive over it again and again. The engineers at Plymouth did, and the results? Flawless operation. No matter how hard we tried, we couldn't derail the DMDP. Here's the Plymouth Planetary Axle Gear Set. The planetary spindle shafts are forged for extreme hardness, strength, and resistance to wear. The spindle shafts are semi-forced feed lubricated at all speeds. Some other planetary axles use gravity lubrication only. It is accepted as good practice in planetary design to float the sun gear, which is attached to the axle shaft. The planetary gearing in the Plymouth DMDP have both the sun and internal gear floating. This feature gives equal gear loading to each planetary pinion for the entire tooth, regardless of load. The floating internal ring gear is another plus feature that gives extra long life and extra dependability to the Plymouth locomotive. Here's the Plymouth enclosed wet disc brake system. The locomotive's primary service brake system is a hydraulic power-applied steel housing enclosed wet multi-disc brake located inboard of each planetary wheel hub. Hydraulic brake power is supplied by an engine-driven pump, providing pressure to a hand-operated modulating brake valve. The brake valve establishes a tandem circuit split axle braking system. In normal operation, the secondary system is piloted from the primary section of the brake valve, providing equal pressure to both halves of the brake system. In the event of a failure in either system half of the brake system, the other portion of the valve will continue to function. In addition to the tandem circuit, each circuit is equipped with a pre-charged air hydraulic accumulator. The accumulators supply hydraulic pressure to each circuit wheel brake in the event of loss of 1. Engine-driven pump pressure, 2. Vehicle electrical failure, 3. Operator foot pedal pressure. The enclosed wet multi-disc brake system is cooled by a separate engine-driven pump. The separate brake cooling circuit provides forced oil circulated cooling through all brake housings for long service life. Let's take a look at the DMDP's chassis suspension and axle movement system. The unique axle mounting of the Plymouth DMDP and the rubber spring suspension permit the axle to articulate freely up and down, from wheel to wheel, adjusting to severe rail irregularities. The parallelogram arrangement of the axle torque frame always maintains the axles in proper alignment to balance drive shaft angles and forces. When choosing a locomotive, always look for an axle mounting system that will allow enough axle freedom of movement to compensate for the rough track conditions of your mining or tunneling environment. Driving and braking forces of the Plymouth Model DMDP are not transmitted through the suspension, but only through the axle mounting torque frame. This provides superior axle freedom and longer component life. The Plymouth DMDP locomotive can be equipped with any one of 3 differentials to maximize the locomotive performance at a particular job site. No friction plates or clutches are used in any of the differentials used by Plymouth. All are solid gear sets. First, the solid lock differential is best for high pulling load requirements with varying slippery track conditions. Second, the high traction differential is best for overall slippery rail with large radius curves and good but uneven or irregular rail surfaces. Third, the no-spin differential is best for track with good rail adhesion, small radius curves, and even or regular rail conditions. In conclusion, Plymouth Locomotive customers all have one thing in common. They're all different, with individual situations and needs. Meeting those needs with quality products representing value-added service is what we do every day at Plymouth Locomotive International. Our representatives will be happy to answer any questions you have about the DMDP Planetary Drive series of locomotives or other fine Plymouth products. Thanks for watching.